Today, we're going to open up a toolkit filled with what I like to call golden words. Timeless pieces of wisdom that are honestly more relevant than ever for navigating the craziness of modern life. Okay, so let's start with this quote because it really sets the stage for everything. It's this incredible idea of a chain reaction, right? It all begins with a thought, which turns into a word, then an action, and before you know it, those actions are shaping who you are and ultimately where you're going. It all starts inside your head. And here it is, broken down. You can see the progression so clearly. It's this wild journey that shows how the biggest thing in our life, our destiny, literally starts with the smallest, most private thing. Just a single thought. So, if our destiny really is built on that chain, it makes sense that the first place we need to look is inward. We've got to start with building that foundation, which is why we're diving into some wisdom for forging a really strong character. This first one gets right to the point. Look, everyone makes mistakes. That's just part of being human. But building a strong character, that's about learning from it. It's about not letting that same exact stone trip you up over and over again. And this is brilliant. It shows this key difference in what we should value. With material things, they become more valuable the rarer they are. But knowledge, it's the complete opposite. Its power, its real worth actually grows the more you share it. This idea of having a purpose is absolutely crucial. It's one of those quotes that makes you stop and think, okay, which one am I? Am I moving through life with a clear intention, like a traveler who knows where they're headed? Or am I just wandering? That purpose is what turns aimless motion into a real journey. So here's the kicker. All the knowledge in the world doesn't mean a thing if it isn't paired with basic compassion, with humanity. You can read 1,000 books, but if you're not a decent person, what's the point? True wisdom is knowledge that has a heart. That idea of humanity is the perfect bridge to our next section. Let's explore how all this wisdom about building character plays out in one of the most important areas of our lives, how we connect with other people. I love this metaphor. It's so powerful. It's basically saying, look past the big, flashy gestures. The roses are nice, sure, but it's the person who brings you the everyday things, the practical stuff you actually need, who is showing you true, lasting care. It really just boils down to this, doesn't it? One is about temporary support, that wow moment. The other is about a real lifelong partnership. This is all about learning to see the incredible value in the quiet, steady, day in, day out support that actually makes a relationship last. And speaking of that kind of lifelong partnership, this next piece of wisdom suggests that there are 4 key pillars that really hold up a fortunate, happy life. And here they are. A fine car that represents your mobility and freedom. A beautiful house for stability, your own sanctuary. A good neighbor, which is all about community and support. And a righteous partner, the foundation of love and shared values. It paints a picture of a really complete, well-rounded life, doesn't it? But even the best things can be ruined. And this definition of ego, it is just perfect. It's such a great visual for how something that seems so tiny, one person's pride, can have this huge toxic effect and just spoil everything good in a relationship. And this quote completely redefines what real strength looks like in a relationship. It's arguing that true character isn't measured by how many people you can conquer, but by the depth of your loyalty and your commitment to one person. All right, for our final section, let's zoom out a bit and see what these teachings can tell us about the bigger picture of life and the role that faith can play in it all. What's so fascinating is when you realize these core ideas, they're not from just one place. This kind of wisdom truly knows no borders. You see these same core truths echoing across different continents and through different traditions. Take this German proverb. It's such a simple but profound connection. We all know packing less luggage makes a trip easier, right? Well, it's the same for life. Having fewer desires, wanting less, that lightens your mental load and lets you actually enjoy the journey. And wow, this African proverb is a really sobering reminder to take a hard look at what we're afraid of. You can spend your whole life worried about the obvious threat, the wolf, only to be taken down by a danger you never even considered, one that was maybe hiding in plain sight. It really asks, do you know where the real risk is? For many people, the real answer to life's problems isn't found in some temporary distraction or escape. It's found in faith. This quote draws a sharp contrast between a fleeting fix and a much deeper act of humility and prayer, turning to something bigger than yourself for strength. And this brings us to this final, incredibly inspiring story about faith in action. Joseph was facing a situation that looked completely hopeless. All the doors were locked. But here's the thing, he didn't just give up. He ran towards the closed doors with total trust that a way would be made for him. So we're left with this powerful question for ourselves. It's not just about waiting for a path to appear. It's about taking action, even when things look impossible. It's about having faith. So the question is, what closed door in your life are you going to run towards?